Hi everyone, good morning, good evening, welcome back to HD All In channel. I hope everyone is doing the well and good and healthy as well. Okay, so in last video we discussed about what is the spanning tree protocol, how it is going to be work, how the bridge value is selected, what is the designated port, what is the non-designated port, and how the election bridge is happening, right? So that is the things we need to be focused on into the spanning tree protocols, and what are there are like timers, blocking, listening, learning, forwarding, and disable. So if you are checking any switch, it is going to be first orange, then it is going to be green. It will take time to up and all the things. So that is things is coming under the switch port, like listening, learning, blocking, forwarding, and disable. So what are the STP port tests and how it is working and how it is going to be their timeline we already discussed about. I just want to be highlight one point here. You will get in spanning tree protocol only one question like that: how the bridge value is selected and how the traffic and election is happening into the spanning tree protocol. And if we talk about the MRTP and rapid RSTP, you will get some better experience for this. What are the link, what are the avoid the loop back, or what are the avoid loop. So that is happening here. Now we'll going to talk about the in this session in nine networking, VLAN, and VTP, virtual local area network, and virtual trunking protocol. And after that, we'll talk about the Ether channel, and then switching is going to be over, and we'll focus on this routing. Then we'll focus on this firewall and VNet as well as you Azure and AWS firewall, how it is going to be work and how it is going to be sync on-premise network to the on-cloud network. And after that, will be going to be development part like using Terraform scripting, PowerShell scripting, Ansible, or how you will be pushing the package for Linux also. So we'll do that type of the session in upcoming, right? So we'll talk about in this session what is VLAN. So many people already aware about this, what is VLAN and how it is working. But if you are talking about the virtual local area network, it is a within a network you will get the security. That means if you have the organization, and in organization you have the multiple department like technical department, dev department, as well as HR department, IT department, marketing department, and sales department, and you want to be segregate that network with the help of the VLAN only. And if you want to talk about two communication of the two different VLAN, that is comes under the inter VLAN configuration, that is we'll discuss about the next video. But simple things is virtual VLAN. What is it? Is segmentation. What segmentation? IT have the different network. HR have the different network because they wanted to be share the file within the network. They can do these things, and they don't want to be what are happening into HR, what is happening into marketing. They don't want to share other team also. That is segmentation happening into the with the help of the VLAN, and it is creating, you know if you have the one switch, you have the multiple switch. That is i- this is segmentation is possible. It is doesn't matter how many switch you have, but the VLAN concept, it is going to be segmentation. That is, you will get the better latency, or you will get the decrease network latency, as well as what are the security is happening, and within a teams you will get all the details. So that is VLAN. And if you are talking about a different department which is totally segmented, and what are the broadcast is happening into the particular VLAN, that is comes under the switching. And whenever it comes under the switching, definitely it is happening one of the broadcasting, what are the multicasting, what are the unicasting. That is we already discussed. The simple things we need to be focused on here, it is a segmentation, and with segmentation within a team. So that is part of the VLAN, and with the help of the example, you will get the better concept of the VLAN. Now let's take example. What is the VLAN? Let me open the pointer. Now, in this switch, in this scenario, you can see, forget about this router. This is, you can consider what are the ISP as well. Now, you have one, two, three switch, and three switch having the different system is connected. Let's take example. Uh, this is the engineering VLAN. This is marketing VLAN. This is accounting VLAN. And every switch have, there are different system is connected for the engineering VLAN also. Let's take example. They are sitting in different floor as well. It doesn't matter. And you want to be communicate to them what are the things, what are the segmentation. So it is the, you have the multiple switch, you have the multiple systems as well. That means you have the three VLANs here, and it is going to be different switch. They are going to be communicate with the help of the VLAN, and it doesn't matter it is one or more switch. So you can see here boundary for engineering billing also, marketing and accounting. What will happen now? This switch, if they are system is connected on same switch, but the communication will not happen within the two systems. So that is the VLAN. That means that is here you can see the segmentation. Now, if you want to be communication of the engineering VLAN to the marketing VLAN, there are the inter VLAN routing with the help of the L3 devices, and you will be configuring the gateway to communication. But as of now, we need to be focused on which concept, the VLAN. It is going to be segmentation, and segmentation, that why I need a segmentation to decrease the latency. And I just want to be the what are the happening into the my department. I don't want to share the other department what is the update here. So that is the segmentation is happening with the help of the VLAN. So each and every organization, they are using VLAN to get the better performance, better security. Now, is that clear to, like, how the VLAN is working and what is the VLAN? Virtual local area network. If you know about the local area network, I have already created one video, LAN man WAN, and you can go on through that video. You will get a better idea. Now in this, what is the scenario is segmentation is happening into the VLAN. Now, if it is comes under the VLAN, there are certain ranges. You can assign, you will get VLAN range, sorry, 0 to 4095. If someone is asking how many VLAN you can create, the first range is 0 to 409. That is the overall VLAN you can create. But VLAN 0 and VLAN 4093, they are reserved for the systems, and you cannot use this VLAN, and you cannot send this VLAN into the any switch, because they are already reserved for the VLAN. And you will not seen this type the VLAN into the any switch while doing the scenario. I will show this VLAN 0 and VLAN 405. But the final, how many VLANs we have? 0 to 4095. Now VLAN 1 is called as the native VLAN, and it is by default. You don't need to be configured anywhere. By default, VLAN 1 is coming. The next VLAN 2 to 1001, and that is you can create, edit and delete it. But one concept is there, VLAN 1 you cannot delete or you cannot edit. But what we have, VLAN 2 and 2 to 1001, you can create, you can edit, you can delete. But after that, one more range is 10022 to 1005, and that is by reserved by the Cisco, and you cannot be deleted. So that is the range which is already reserved by the Cisco, and the last one is 1006 and 1094, and this is new extended range of the VLAN that you can use as a normal VLAN. So that is the VLAN range like 0 to 4095, VLAN 1, 2 to 1001, 100 to 1105, and 110 to 4094. So that is the overall VLAN range you can use. The next type is, it's very very important while doing the VLAN configuration. You will you need to be choose it is a access port or it is a trunk port. Now what is access port? If you have the switch port belongs to only one VLAN. So the traffic which is going to be that switch port, that contain only one VLAN. And if it is you are not configuring access port, or in you are not like configuring in mode, what VLAN you need to access, by default it is taking the native VLAN which is comes under the VLAN 1. So access port, it is carrying what is only one like VLAN traffic. It's in, if you talk about a trunk you will get, you know, one or more VLAN traffic, and it doesn't matter if your traffic is there one switch or two switch or multiple switch. So that is helpful for the virtual trunking protocol or trunk port. So the traffic it is carrying for the one to more, many VLAN for the one switch to another switch. That is comes under the trunk protocol. And there are multiple things. .1 queue escalation, IEEE standard. If you talk about the method, that is comes under the trunk protocol or trunk port. So there are two ports you need to be think about. Access port, you want to be like one to one VLAN, one traffic, and trunk you will get the multiple switches, multiple one or more, and that is the comes under the group of the VLAN into the trunk port. So that is the scenario of the trunk port, how it is working. You can see switch 1, switch 2, switch 3. If it is there VLAN 10, VLAN 10, VLAN 10. And if you are configuring VLAN 10 in that switch, you don't need to be configure switch 2 and switch 3. That means if you are configuring the both the switch port as a trunk port, then what are the VLAN configuration there on switch 1? It will be traffic going to be switch 2. And if you're talking like switch 2 configuring switch port, what are the connected? Switch 3. If you're configuring this port as a trunk port, then all VLAN information traffic will be going to be carried. That means that is you can create a one core switch. Core switch have the all the VLAN information, and you can configure, you know, VTP mode as a server, and another you can configure VTP mode as a client. So server mode you can, you know, that is comes under the admin type of the thing. So here you can think about, if you have the two switch, you don't need to be configure each and every VLAN to another switch. So if you are configuring trunking port, all VLAN configuration, all VLAN, what are the switch one? It is going to be switch 2, switch 2 to switch 3. And then you can see VLAN 10, VLAN 10 for this one, VLAN 20, VLAN 20, VLAN 20. So that things, that traffic, what we have, it is going to be as it is. So that is the main advantages of the trunk port. So that is the things. Now we'll move about the configuration part. Let me open the Cisco packet tracer. Okay. Uh, we'll do first switching. Let any switch. I will take the example of the. Sorry. I will open the new file. Okay. Uh, what example we are doing here? One switch will be going to take here, and systems will be taking anything. What are the laptop? What are the PC I have? I will take near about, okay, 6 systems. First, we'll focus on access port, right? So let me connect. What are the PC I have? I don't want multiple PC we have, and the better part we can do IP configuration. So here, okay, okay. Now we'll focus on this the topology. Let's wait for the sometimes the switch will be going to up. Meanwhile, we'll not sure what is happening with my system, but okay, okay. I will do one thing. I will assign some color. Okay, let's 1 minute. Not sure what is happening with my systems. Okay, so this is we can say only one switch I have. Okay, and if you want to be like, okay, that's fine for me. Let's take an example. We'll take 192.168.1.10, this PC IP. We'll go 192.168.1.11, 192.168.1.12, 192.168.1.13, and 192.168.1.14. I'll be using only one subnet because I just want to be make sure they are communicated to each other, and how will be restricted them to the traffic. So we'll see in that video. But first we'll assign the IP first. You already aware about this one. How you'll be going to configure the IP name. 192.168.1.10. By default it is coming. I don't want to use default gateway because it is already there into the one switch, so there is no way we'll be going to be configure them to the any default routing there or gateway for this 1.11. Done. I'll be using the IP configuration immediately basis 192.168.1.12. By default, it is taking class C. That is, you can see 255.255.255.0. 192.168.1.13. Okay, I think basic part is over to assigning IP. You can do DHCP as well, but for this scenario, I just want to be utilize static IP. Now I'll be checking the response if I'm getting from another computer. Yes, you can see I am getting the ping response for this computer or which is directly connected network. So each and every things I'll be getting the ping response. I'll be randomly checking anyone. So they are communicating to each other. So you can see reply from this one particular host. So now if you are seeing or if you are going to be any systems, you can ping anywhere that things you will get the response. Now we'll do okay. Okay, I'll be doing some graphics work here. Now I will using VLAN 10, VLAN 20, and VLAN 30. And I'll be using this VLAN for IT, this VLAN for HR, and this VLAN for the marketing. Okay, that is my overall scenario. Okay, let me open the switch. CLI, I'll be going to be config terminal. First, I'll be going to be enable, then config. Here, I'll be checking show VLAN. So you can see all it's coming by default VLAN 1 and other VLAN you cannot use that VLAN ranges you I already shown you 1003, 1002, 1004, 1005. So that is by default it is reserved by the Cisco and you cannot use. Now you can see VLAN 1 is already there or that is native VLAN, and if you are not assigning any VLAN for any port, by default this is taking native VLAN that is comes under the VLAN 1. Let's okay. Now we'll be going to configure terminal. Now I just want to be creation of the VLAN. First I'll be checking show interface status. What way I have? Oh. Do show interface status. I'm in config mode, so I need to be use do for this get the details. If I'm in enable mode, I'll be using only show interface status. Now you can see fast Ethernet 0 1 2 3 4 5 6. It's already connected, and it is by default it is coming VLAN because we haven't configured into the any VLAN. Now we'll go configure to the VLAN 10 name. I'll be giving to the IT exit VLAN 20. I'll be giving to the name HR, and VLAN 30. I'll be giving to the name marketing. Exit, exit. Now I'll be checking show VLAN. You can see VLAN 10 is created, VLAN 20 and VLAN 30 it's there. So we'll focus on the now interface fast Ethernet 0/1 switch port mode access switch port access VLAN 10 shut no shut. Now interface fast Ethernet 0/2 switch port mode access. Now we'll be focusing on only access port. We are not configuring trunk port because here we have only one switch. So we'll focus on only VLAN 10 exit, then interface fast Ethernet 0/. Now if you want to be range, now I just want to be assigned same VLAN to the multiple port. So what should I do? I'll be going to 0/3 to 4. 1 minute, sorry. 0 position at 0/3 to 4, and I'll be using switchboard mode access switchboard access VLAN 20, right? Exit, and then same things I'll be doing for interface range fast ethernet 0/5 to 6 switchboard mode access switchboard access VLAN 30. Exit, exit. Now if you're going to be show VLAN, you can see VLAN 10 having the two ports, VLAN 3 having the two ports, and VLAN 13 having the two ports. That is our scenario. Now I have created all the things. Let me save first this one using the command write WR, or you can use show running config. So that is now all things is completed. Let's come on the scenario. Now VLAN 10, VLAN 20, VLAN 30 we have configured with the switchboard. Let's go and check the communication. Here the PC0 and PC1 within the same VLAN, so they should communicate to each other 192.168.1.11. Okay, I'm getting the response, but whenever I'll be going to be 12, right? Within the same switch, but I am not getting the response because the switch 192.168.1.10 and 1.11 they are in same VLAN, so they can communicate to each other, and 1.12 they will they will having the HR, and if you are pinging from this 12 to 11, it will be not going to be communicate as well, because this is restriction happened due to the VLAN configuration. That is, we have configured which one in access port. So in access port, what is the concept in access port? You can assign one single switch port, only one VLAN. You got point? If you are going to be communicate with the 12 also, it is not going to be communicate. So that is segmentation will happening into the VLAN. So if you are pinging for 14 to 15, you will get, but 15 to 13 or 12 it's not possible. 15 to 11 10 is not possible, because this is already segmentation is happening. And the same what is we have done, the things will be going to be never going to be work. And that's what the the fix. And what is the use of the VLAN? That is, if you it doesn't matter if you are in one switch or multiple switch, the concept of the VLAN that is come under the segmentation. And within what are the VLAN I have configured, what is the access port, what is the trunk port I have configured. This trunk port should communicate to each other. Another VLAN we don't want to communicate. That is the comes under the security part. If you are thinking VLAN 10, VLAN 20, VLAN 30, what are the port range we have assigned for VLAN 20? They can communicate with each other. What port we have assigned for the VLAN 30? They can communicate each other. But VLAN 30 to VLAN 20 and VLAN 20 to VLAN 10, they cannot communicate with each other, because we haven't done inter VLAN configuration. So that's what now the concept is here. What are the segmentation? IT, HR, marketing, they are not communicating to each other, so they can share the data within the network with their teams. So that is concept of the VLAN. That concept happen for access port. But what will happen if you are using the trunk port? I'll be using one more switch. I'll be using one systems again. And now access port is over, VLAN is over. Now we'll think about the trunk port. And what we can do, we'll do switch connectivity only. Again, we can do uh we can take the any IP 192.168.10.1, 192.168.10.2, and the third one is 10.3. 192.168.10.3. So we'll assign first IP to them. 192.168.10.1, 192.168.10.2, and 192.168.10.3. By default, it is coming /24. That is subnet mask 255.255.255.0. Now, similar way, if you are going to be check the communication between them, you can see, because this is already communicate to each other. So you can see 10.2, you will get the response. 10.3 also you will get the response, because we haven't done any VLAN configuration. We have done the VLAN configuration where switch 1, we haven't done for the switch 2. So similar way, will that is VLAN 30, VLAN 10. Okay. VLAN 10, VLAN 20, and VLAN 30. Now, in this case, okay, you already configure the VLAN here. You don't need to be configured on switch 2. Why? Let's come here. And which port is up now? Config terminal, interface, fast Ethernet 0/7, switch port mode. We want to be trunk. Exit from here, exit from here. Okay, you will can see show VLAN or show interface status. Okay, sorry. You can see here fast Ethernet is 0/7 is trunk port. All else other you can see you can connect it with the particular assigned VLAN. Then comes to switch 2 part. Okay, let's wait for some time. It is up. So meanwhile we'll do some type of the configuration. Config terminal. And okay, first I'll be checking show interface. Show interface status. Okay, I just want to be see this is there, but I'll be configuring interface password 0/4 switchboard or trunk exit interface password 0/1 switchboard mode access switch access VLAN 10. What is happening? Okay, first password 0/4. Okay, the concept is here. We have one configure what is VTP is there, and if it is VTP is not configured, then VLAN information is not going to be transferred here also. So we need to be configure one core switch and one these things. Now, if it is there, you don't need to be configure. Once we configure the VTP, the VLAN 10 can communicate here. VLAN 10 VLAN 20 communicate with the VLAN 20 without any issue, and VLAN 30 will communicate to the VLAN 30 without these things. So that is the overall concept. Now we don't have the you know VTP in place, so we'll do one thing. We'll use same IP range. 1.31 we can use. And okay, the VLAN information is not going to be like transfer here to there because we need to be configure first VTP mode, one server, one client, and what are the information is there for the VLAN, what are the information which is we have into the core switch or in master switch, that will be going to be transfer as it is. So that is the concept of the overall the VLAN. That is comes under, what are the IT or HR or marketing, if you have that is segmentation is happening. And if it's you are configuring access port, it is going to only carry one information, one VLAN information. If you're configuring the trunking port, you will get the multiple VLAN and multiple group of the VLAN. You can transfer one or multiple switch. So that is the scenario and that is the concept of the VLAN, and each and every organization they are using VLAN concept to secure and to get decrease the latency in the network. So that is the concept of the VLAN, and next session we'll be going to talk about what is the virtual trunking protocol. That is how it is going to work. So if you are liking this, if you are getting some information from this session, please like and subscribe my YouTube channel. Thank you. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Have a good evening. Thank you.